Alright guys, so in the last video we started on our JavaScript, we added all the variables, we created the logic here, and the win case. So if a user wins, we know the value's 2, they get the green border, they can't change the number, and they get a message. So now what we're going to do is the lose case. Alright, so if they lose, then we want to subtract 1 from the guesses left. Alright, so we want this, it's the wrong number. So we want to say guesses left. Now we can do a shortcut here. We can say minus equals 1. Alright, so this will take 1 away. This is the same as saying guesses left equals guesses left take away 1. Okay, it's just a shorter way of doing that. So we do that, and then we want to check to see if there's any guesses left. So let's say if guesses left is equal to 0, that means the game's over and they lost. We'll just put a comment here and say game over, lost. Actually up here we should say game over, won. Alright, so we need an else here, and we'll say game continues. We'll say game continues, answer wrong. Alright, so if the game is over, it's going to be very similar to what we did if it was 1. We're going to disable and we're going to set a message. So I'm just going to copy all of this. Now I know this looks repetitive, and don't worry about that. We're going to get to optimizing the code later on. But we want to set disable to true. Alright, we want to set the border color to red. And then the message, let's see, so for the message we want to say, let's say game over. We'll say game over, and then we want to, we'll just say you lost. We don't want to be too harsh. Game over, you lost, and we'll say the correct number was, and then we can put in here the winning number. Like that. Alright, we want this to be a red message. So let's try that. We'll save it. We'll put in a couple guesses. 1, 2, 3. Game over, you lost. The correct number was 2. Alright, so in the else, this is when they guess wrong, but the game's not over. So in this case, when I submit, it's this case here, which right now does nothing. So let's go ahead and let's set a message. And for the message, we're going to say, we'll put in some backticks here, and we'll say guess is not correct. And then we also want to notify them of the guesses they have left. So we'll say you have, or we won't say you have, we'll just say guesses left, guesses left, like that. Alright, we'll also make the border red. So let's grab this. We'll say tell user it's the wrong number. Well, we want to make sure that this is, we want to pass in red as the color of the message. And then I also want to clear the input. So we'll say guess input dot value equals nothing. Alright, so let's try it. So we'll put in 1, submit. 1 is not correct. 2 guesses left. We'll put in 1 again. Submit. 1 is not correct. 1 guess is left. Let's put in 5. Game over, you lost. The correct number was 2. Alright, good. Alright, now this is where I want to do a little bit of optimization because we're repeating ourselves, okay? If we guess the winning number, we're disabling the input, we're setting the border color, we're setting a message. All right, else if there's no guesses left and we lost, we're disabling the input, we're setting the border color, we're setting a message. So I think what we should do is create a function called game over. Alright, so game over is going to take in two parameters. One is going to be if they won or not, which will be true or false. The second will be the message. Alright, and then what we'll do is we'll grab the disabled input, the color, and then the set message. Alright, so what I'm going to do is copy this and comment it out. And go down here into game over, paste this in. Okay, so we're disabling it. We're going to do this regardless if they won or not. Now the color, the border color is going to depend on if they won or not, right? So what we can do is just do a conditional. And I think the easiest thing to do would be to use a ternary operator. So let's go ahead and declare a variable called color. And then we're going to say if 1 is equal to true, then we want that color to equal green. Else, we want that color to equal red. Okay, so now we have our color variable. The message is being passed in, so let's go down here and let's change this to the color, okay, which is defined here on whether we won or not. And then the message here is going to be passed in to set message, like that. So that way we can go back up here and we can replace all of this code with game over. They won, so it's true. And then the message, actually I gotta go back to get the message. We want this as our message. Oop. So game over true, and then we need our backticks like that. Okay, so that looks much neater. Now let's go down here to where the game over is. When we lost, I'm going to grab the message, copy that, and then I'm going to just get rid of all this. We're going to say game over, and we're going to say false because we did not win, and then paste in the message. Alright, so don't you think that looks much neater? So let's try it. It should work the same way, hopefully. So if we put a 1, which is not right, okay, that's not correct. 5 is not correct. 6 is not correct. Let's see, game over is not defined. Let's see, 48. Oh, I put gamer over. All right, let's try that again. Game over, you lost. Good. Let's try 2, which is correct, and you win. Now the color is not green. Let's see why. So let's see. Game over, true. Game over, we're saying if 1 is equal to true, color equals green, else color equals red. Oh, I just set the border color. I didn't set the text color. So what we'll do is we'll say set text color. So we want message dot style dot color equals color. So now, there we go. So what I want to do next is, where does the user go from here? I mean, it's not clear. So what I want to do is change this button to say play again, and then add an event listener on that so that we can click that play again, and it'll reload the page. We can use the location object and use the reload method to reload the entire page. All right, so that's what we'll do in the next video.